what's good? My name is Luis. Now I have a question for you guys. Do you guys like horror movies? Yeah. Do you like horror movies? Well, me too. I don't know why I'm making that voice. I'm so sorry. No, but I'm a really big horror fan. You know, I love anything horror. It's my favorite genre of movies. Now, I will like to say, did you know that the horror genre of movies is probably never going to fail because of one team? So I've been watching horror movies like for a long time now, you know what I mean? Ever since I was a little youngin', I've been watching horror movies. Matter of fact, my first horror movie, you guys want to know what it was? It was It. And I'm not talking about the new It's that dropped. No, I'm talking about like the old OG, like 1990 It. Yeah, that one. And guess who showed me that for the very first time? No. It wasn't my friends. No, it wasn't my dad. It wasn't my uncle. No, it wasn't my cousins. Nah. It was my grandma. I remember getting dropped off at my grandma's house because my parents were gonna go somewhere or something like that. And then she was like, okay, you guys have a good time. And then literally like once she shut the door, she's like, we're watching a movie. And I was like, okay, cool. We're gonna be watching a movie. Bet. Like I was excited. You know, I'm thinking we're gonna be watching like the SpongeBob movie or something. Nah, this old lady, the old little Mexican old lady, she puts on It. And I'm like, she puts on like the scariest movie I've ever seen as a little kid. Like I think that was like my first horror or like scary movie I've ever seen. Like just imagine like little 10-year-old Luis just watching It, and I'm talking about the 1990 It. That's yeah. How am I not gonna have nightmares? Anyway, the horror genre of movies has been very successful over the past few years. You know what I mean? But there is one movie in particular that I saw a trailer of, and I guess it inspired this video because I'm not gonna lie, it is one of the most creative, most interesting kind of topics, or I guess movie ideas that I think we have seen in a long time now. So the movie is called Undertone, right? And this movie takes place in pretty much just like a normal household where a girl, she has a podcast with, I believe, her boyfriend or her friend. I'm not too sure. The movie hasn't dropped yet. I just saw from the trailer, you know, I was like, you know, like Nancy Drew in it. I'm like, okay, it looks like it could be her boyfriend or it could be her friend. Anyway, yeah, apparently this girl has a podcast about quote unquote,
where we talk about all things creepy.
Basically, the homie, he's like, hey girl, guess what, man? I got some shit for you, girl. She's like, word? And he's like, yo, I got some crazy ass shit for you, girl. And she's like, all right, slide it over, like slide the documents. And he's like, oh, it ain't no documents, girl. They're audio tapes. Damn. Okay, first of all, when a horror movie is using audio tapes, man, you already know it's gonna be crazy because it's not something that we see that we get scared of. No, we hear it and we get scared of. Like, no, this is gonna be insane, you guys. So we do get a little glimpse of the audio tapes, right? And these are some of the most creepiest, most weird sounding audio tapes I think honestly we have heard in a horror movie in a long time, you know, to the point where the main character, she's starting to hear things on her own, like without the headphones, and starts seeing things in her own crib, you know what I mean? Like I literally looked over here because I'm like, hey, make sure nothing moving over there, you know? So after watching the trailer, I got to thinking to myself, I'm like, damn girl, you gotta have some thick ass skin to be doing a podcast about everything scary alone at your house, because it looked like she was alone, right? She's doing this alone with like the lights dimmed. Like, girl, I'm not gonna lie, you got some huevitos for that, for real, because come on now, like, ain't no way I'm gonna be doing that. I'll listen. I would love to listen to a podcast like that, but I'm not doing that alone at the crib at like 2 a.m. hearing some creepy ass noises. Like, no gracias. No, así estoy bien, señora. Así estoy bien. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, that's some white people shit. Like, for real, bro. Like, well, actually, now I think about it, nah, that's probably not white people shit, because I know I said I wouldn't do it, but now I think about it, I do like everything scary too. So if it got to the point where I wanted to do a podcast about that, I probably would be doing that too at like 2 a.m. as well. You know what? I take that back, white people. I take that back. Now, the reason why I'm pretty excited about this movie and the fact that I think it'll, like, you know, change the horror genre, it won't like change it completely, but it's making it go in a new direction, if you know what I mean. Because typically, you know, we've grown up with like the typical slasher movies, you know, like the new Scream movie that came out. Matter of fact, what are we on, like 7 now? What even is Scream about anymore, bro? Like, I've seen the new one with Jenna Ortega, but I haven't seen the new one yet. And to be honest, I don't even know if I'm gonna see the new one. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck. All right, I'm gonna keep it a buck. No, but anyway, yeah, we have the traditional slasher films, you know, where somebody's coming in, they're going after people, you know what I'm saying? They're doing their thing. Hold up. balls. But the thing I like about this movie is that we're taking it in a complete new direction though. That's the thing, you know, because we're getting into podcast territory now. What horror movie about a podcast have you ever seen? Let me think. Exactly, I can't think of any. I think a strong contender for this movie would be like, I don't know, like paranormal movies, because there isn't really like a bad guy there or a bad person, like a scary thing. It's more like ghosts and stuff, which I think is pretty cool as well. But this one, it's like, I don't know, I've only seen like one trailer or like two trailers, and I kind of know what's going on, but then at the same time, I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, in a good way. I'm not gonna lie, they're turning stuff that we usually do on a daily basis, or like stuff that we're interested in right now, such as podcasts, and making it a damn horror movie. Oh my, we can't have nothing nice anymore. Like, we're literally doing podcasts, something that is completely non-scary at all. I mean, unless you're listening to horror podcasts, but then at the same time, it's like, it's not really that scary, you know what I mean? Because people are just yapping about it. But no, it's taking it to a new direction, for sure. It's like if they made a horror movie about, like, I don't know, TikTok or something like that, right? Like, you're just scrolling through your phone, you know, just watching TikToks, and then a video pops up, and it's like your dead great-grandma or something, and she's like,
"Hi, Louise. I haven't seen you in forever. Do you miss me?"
Like something like, hold on, nah, that low-key be kind of a fire movie. If you think about it, like, you just see a video and it was recently posted, and it was like your, like, I don't know, like a relative who's passed or something like that, and they start talking to you and like telling you stuff from the dead. Oh, what? A24. Hit my line. Hey, I'm gonna copyright that ASAP. Critics are saying that this movie is actually like probably gonna be one of the scariest movies this year. And I know they say that a lot, but I kind of believe it, you know, because they were also saying that some of the audio like messages or tapes from this movie, it sounds like it's cursed. Yeah, so like that's lovely. I love hearing that before walking into the theater. But imagine like watching this at the theater, you know what I mean? Like, you know how in typical scary movies, like there's jump scares and you hit one of these real quick, you know what I'm saying? But this movie, you can't really do that. There's not gonna be like no jump scares like in the traditional sense. It's more gonna be like audio scares. You know, I think this is gonna be the first movie to introduce a new wave of audio scares. Like, you already know if there's a jump scare, you know, you easily just cover your eyes, but with this movie, there's probably gonna be a mixture of both. So it's gonna be pretty interesting, you know? Like, if you're really scared, you're gonna have to hit one of these. Like, you're gonna have to like crunch over, cover your eyes and cover your ears, bro. They're gonna be looking at me at the theater like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? You know what I mean? So I was looking back at this trailer, right? And I got to thinking, I'm like, what is this damn movie gonna be about? Now think about it. What are we really looking at here? Because I noticed that he was like some random anonymous email sent over these 10 audio messages.
10 mysterious audio recordings from an anonymous email.
I'm thinking, okay, well maybe it's gonna be about like they're gonna find out who sent these messages, but the IP address is gonna be like to nobody, or it's gonna be like to her place, like maybe she sent them. I don't know, but at the same time, like who's really sending these audio messages? Like low key, it could be somebody just like fucking around in their office, like, and then just making like 10 of these like random scary audio, and then just sending it to this poor podcast. Like, oh man, that's so bad. Not like poor podcast, but just like you know, just making them like suffer through this. But then again, what explains the paranormal stuff happening? Unless her crib was already haunted to begin with, and then this is just like a coincidence, you know what I mean? Like, and then there was this one part in the trailer where she was like,
You believe that?
I think she's the skeptic here, and my boy, he's like the one who's actually like, hey, I don't know, girl, these don't sound right. I don't got a good feeling about this. And she's really hitting him with the,
You believe that?
until the weird stuff happens to her, and then it's like, all right, you know what, maybe I believe. You know, this is probably gonna be a good movie for those people who were like don't really believe in like scary paranormal stuff like that. I think she's like one of those, and then it turns out that she converts into, all right, maybe this is actually kind of real, hold on, you know? Or is this gonna be like a Sam and Colby video gone wrong? You know what I mean? Like, hey, shout out to Sam and Colby though, for real. I'm not gonna lie though, if I was in that position, you know, where like we're doing a podcast about something scary, and then I click on the audio and it's like,
if you listen to this, do you know what's gonna happen to you?
I'm shutting down my laptop screen and I'm going to bed. Like, nah, for real, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not gonna deal with that, bro. Like, look, I'm Mexican, so I I already gotta deal with a lot, and that's one thing I'm not trying to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if I click on another audio message and it's like,
Right behind you. Turn around.
like, all right, I'm not dealing with that first of all. But matter of fact, thanks for the heads up. Now I'm gonna turn around with these hands up. So thanks for the heads up. Come on now. Now in the beginning of the video, I did say that the horror movie industry is probably never gonna fail because of one team, and that is A24. Now look. I know A24 has been around for a minute, but lately they have been stepping up their damn game, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, the amount of bangers they've been putting out. Hoo-wee! Yeah, no, they're on a roll. Oh my goodness. They be popping out more movies than Nick Cannon be popping out kids, for real. Well, then again, Nick Cannon isn't the one popping them out, but you know what I mean. Now, I know. A lot of you guys are probably going to be saying, oh, Luis, you just watched one A24 film and now you're all of a sudden all about horror movies. And nah, bro, I've been on the horror movie genre since I was a youngin', man. Like, when I was talking about It, 1990 It, come on, bro. I think once I watched that, I got freaked out to the point where I was like, I kind of like this. I kind of like this, you know? But no, A24 has been producing heat, you know what I mean? They've been making movies for a minute now. And you know, you got the traditional Blumhouse, you know, and those are good movies. Don't get me wrong. Like movies by Blumhouse and stuff like that, they're great movies. However, A24, they're taking the horror genre and twisting it and making it their own, which I think is their competitive advantage. I'm gonna be honest, nobody is coming close to them except
Hold on now.
there is one movie producer group that I feel they are really kicking it up a notch as well, and that is my dogs Neon. My dogs over there at Neon, they're really doing their thing. They're doing the horror genre their way too, which I like. Like I just saw what was it, Cuckoo or something like that with Hunter Schafer? Great movie, by the way. It was very different. It was a very different vibe, but I quite enjoyed that. It was more of like a psychological thriller horror type beat, and you know what? I'm a big fan of that as well. So hey, shout out Neon. They're doing their thing too. Can you just imagine though, like an A24 X Neon collab? Oh my goodness. No, that would be insane. That's like if they made a Bring Her Back. If you've seen Bring Her Back, you know that movie is very disturbing. It's like Bring Her Back, but then there's also like Long Legs. Long Legs mixed in the fusion. Oh my goodness. That would be... Come on. Hey, Neon A24, what y'all doing? What y'all doing? Oh, did you guys see the Backrooms movie? Oh my, yo. I love that A24. I'm an A24 fanboy. What about it? Huh? Do love that A24 is bringing in stuff that we, like our generation, is literally loving right now. Like we love podcasts, you know, we're into the podcast wave, and we love the Backrooms. Every horror game, every horror fanatic knows about the Backrooms, and they know how like disturbing, unsettling they are. So the fact that they're turning it into a movie with the director, I believe it's Kane Pixels. I might have to put up the real, like the real name, you know. I don't know, just off the top of the dome, bro. Yeah, no, I love the fact that they're bringing in the OG director from the guy who made it on YouTube over to A24. So shout out to the homie, man. Like he really doing his big one with this. But the thing I really do like about, like, let's say A24 and Neon and stuff like that is that they're not just making horror movies. No, they're making completely other movies that are not horror related, or if so, very minimal horror, because I feel like once they make a horror movie, they expand their palette, you know, and get new ideas to make other films as well. But after watching the trailer for Undertone, I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty excited for you guys. I want to know what you guys think. Are you guys excited for this horror movie? I don't know. What am I doing with my hands? Hold on. Hey, are you guys excited? No, are you guys excited to see this movie, or is it just me? Like, am I the only one who's just excited for this? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like after watching this movie, like, I'm probably not going to want to listen to a podcast, you know, because I don't know, you guys. Like, I know it's like fiction and stuff like that, but what if I put on a podcast and I'm like, you know, just cruising, like on the way to the gym or something, on the way to get like a little fade, and then out of nowhere, it's like,
If you listen to this, do you know what's gonna happen to you?
I'm turning the stereo. I'm pausing it. I'm just turning off the whip. I'm walking. Like, anyway, I just kind of wanted to come on here and just kind of not really rant, but just talk about, you know, this movie that I just saw, or I guess the trailer. I just saw this upcoming movie. I mean, this is obviously it's not like sponsor or anything like that. Nah, it'd be cool, but nah, man. Hey, A24 though. What up, though, man? Come on, bruh. Hit up your boy. What's the deal? Nah, I'm just playing. But, you know, I really just wanted to come on here and just talk about, you know, something I love. You know, I love horror movies. I love A24 films. You know, I love anything to do with that. Videography, cinematography. So I also want to know what you guys think. Are you guys excited for this? Are you guys going to be watching this? What do you guys think about the horror movie industry right now? Is it like popping off, or is it, you know, it's not the best? I really want to know what you guys think. So put it down in the comments down below. I just know I'm going to be watching it. Shit, should we all go? Should we all go watch it? Fuck it, man. I'm gonna do a poll, man. If you guys want to pull up, man, let me know, man. We'll all go watch it. But there is one thing you need to bring, though. Apparently, you need to bring some earplugs because you're going to get audio scared. And don't worry, I'm going to be the judge to see if this is actually going to be one of the scariest movies of the year like these critics are saying. Because if it's not, I'm going to hit up the critics with one of these.
You believe that?
Alright guys, that's going to be the video for today. If you guys did enjoy, it would really mean a lot to me if you guys hit that subscribe button as well as that little bell so you guys don't miss out on any of my future videos. And like I said before, just drop a comment down below about what your opinions on this movie is, or any other horror movies, or any other opinions you have on the horror movie industry. I mean, I would really love to read some of your comments, you guys, because this is something I'm really interested in, and if you guys are too, hey, that's a win-win. Alright, I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great day today, and I will catch you guys in the next video.